Hello friends, welcome back to the James Allcott channel. Announcement! Allcott's got an announcement. I've put together a team of the best of the best of the best to try and make more videos, to try and make this channel better, to try and make this channel more insightful. I'm going to be trying to do as many previews of the games that matter. So if you are aware of a game that matters, and I know every game matters, but if you think it's got a nice editorial or you think it's something that we just want to dive into that little bit more, I've hopefully got the team. I know I've got the team to get it done for you guys. So what a perfect way to start with, of course, the fan bases that Allcott has pissed off this week. Derby, Tottenham versus Liverpool, as a perfect way to kick off. If you are new to the channel and you want to enjoy these previews as they come out, do me a favor. I'm trying to invest into this channel. I'm trying to make this channel huge. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and get involved in the comments. Get your predictions in. Predictions in. So is Klopp in crisis? I don't think he is. I don't think the club is, but I think they're very, very disappointed with the performances at this moment in time. And the amount of different changes in formation suggests that Klopp is still trying to find the answers with this new setup and team and evolution of Liverpool. Against Leeds, he deployed a diamond in midfield. The XG from this game is 1.71 to 1.77 in Leeds' favour, and Jesse Marsch's side had 6 shots on target. That's the most that they've had in a Premier League match. I'm going to be analysing the formation troubles of Liverpool, but first of all, we've got to talk about Conte's setup and the decision that he has to make in terms of playing a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 in this game, and what they do with Heung-min Son most likely out of this one, as well as how this game for Spurs could be won in that midfield battle. So Spurs currently sit third in the league, but recent performances haven't backed up what the league table has been showing. A 2-0 loss to Man United and a 2-1 defeat to Newcastle United meant that they really, really needed to win that game against Bournemouth, and they did. They just managed to do it, just about, but Conte would have preferred a performance where Spurs were in control for 90 minutes. But to see a comeback like that, it's a real positive for sure. But the next step's going to be performing like that from the start in midweek. Once again, you know, the game state was a huge part of it. It was a tentative affair, but the first half was poor. They want to see a bit of tenacity, a bit of defensive intensity from the start. So how can Spurs do that against Liverpool? Well, the Bournemouth match revealed that changes are needed. Maybe it was saving some players for the Champions League, but the changes that Conte made in the second half against Bournemouth have to be in consideration for the start of this match. Rodrigo Bentancur in midfield played 33 minutes and got man of the match. He was also fantastic in the game against Marseille in midweek. He came on for Basuma and was able to offer something different by being just a little bit more direct than him, and therefore meaning his passes were being received in the attacking third that little bit more often. Another change he made was Eric Dyer, who was subbed on for Sanchez as the right-sided centre-back. He was allowed the freedom to push higher on the right-hand flank, and he seemed to enjoy that, successfully playing 7 passes into the final third and passing into the penalty area once, which resulted in a shot. Again, if we think about that game in midweek, Longley superb through the middle, Ben Davies very comfortable on the left-hand side, so maybe Eric Dyer stays on that right-hand side for this one because he could offer that little bit more going forward. Both in the Bournemouth game and the Marseille game, he's proven his movement, passing and confidence, importantly, on the ball to make an impact in the attacking third for this side that sometimes struggle to get out. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're screaming it at me right now. You're writing in the comments, well, just delete it for a second, because against Liverpool, I know it's not going to be as easy to attack like it was against Bournemouth, but there are definitely ways that Tottenham can be on the front foot. In fact, there are particular reasons why Conte shouldn't choose a 3-4-3. So let's talk about pressing Liverpool, because the weakness of Liverpool that you need to keep in mind when it comes to Conte's team selection is that the Leeds match was proof that going into a match against Liverpool with high intensity can actually be the difference between getting a result or not. It used to be difficult to press Liverpool as you knew that they'd be able to play right through it. However, this season it's different, and teams are already realising this. The first goal Leeds scored was due to a misunderstanding from Gomez and Alisson, but Aronson was crucial, because he kept applying pressure on Gomez, which forced him to pass it back without having the time to think where he was passing, and then Leeds were in. Leeds was set up in a 4-4-2 out of possession, and if Trent or Robertson got the ball, then the wide midfielder would apply pressure to the fullback, meaning that they would have to rush their pass or play safe by passing to the nearest centre-back. This is where Lucas Moura comes in, and this is the first element of why a 3-5-2 might work well for Tottenham, because Lucas Moura could be that Aronson. You know, he's someone who could play wing back, could play winger, could play centre forward, and with Heung-min Son most likely out of this game, you've got someone who's going to do so much defensive work but can also be a ball carrier as well and could play that Aronson role. An example of that wide midfielder pressure came in that Leeds game in the 20th minute when Somerville ran towards Trent. He played a quick pass into the middle, but this is exactly what Leeds wanted them to do. The whole team then shifted to the left to make the space tight for Liverpool on the ball. So it meant that Leeds' midfielders, who were Roca, Adams and Harrison, were all positioned centrally, ready to intercept any loose passes. In this instance, it was Roca who intercepted, and with some fast link-up play, this pressing trap led to Leeds being through on goal with Harrison in the box, but Alisson saved the shot, like he normally does. So after seeing how effective this was for Leeds, Spurs need to set up in a 3-5-2, in our opinion, to have the best chance of defending against Liverpool and restricting them to possession in deep areas. A midfield of Højbjerg, Bissouma and Bentancur could be super effective with the defensive attributes that these players have in terms of intercepting passes in central areas. And it could lead to Spurs countering Liverpool regularly, which is where they excel. There's a real chance that Liverpool could struggle if Spurs go with this midfield setup, and it's where the headlines could be made. Højbjerg, of course, scoring in midweek, and actually looks a lot more exciting from an attacking point of view for Spurs. And Spurs can gain the advantage with these players. We've seen Højbjerg transform recently, and in the Spurs team, only Harry Kane has more goal contributions than him in the Premier League, and his 3 goals and 2 assists is the same as Heung-min Son. In addition to him, you've got Bentancur, who has the same number of goal involvements as Ivan Perisic with 4. So this is a midfield that can be strong in defence, but also chip in with some goals and assists this season, which is helping alleviate some of the pressure from Kane and Son. Moura needs to step into that. The one big problem for Tottenham is, of course, the injuries. Heung-min Son, Kulusevski, Richarlison, Christian Romero, all out of this game. And you do wonder how much energy was expended in that game in Marseille. But the thing that you've got to remember, I guess, as well, is that Liverpool played that night as well. So let's talk about Liverpool's setup, because in contrast, trying to predict the Liverpool formation at the moment is tough, you know, due to the changes that they're often making. So from that single midfield, defensive midfielder in their 4-3-3 at the beginning of the season that we all knew and a lot of Liverpool fans obviously loved because of how fruitful it's been, to a midfield pairing when they used that 4-4-2, and most recently 3 in midfield when they used 4-3-1-2, with one of them being very attacking. If the 4-3-1-2 is to continue, then Thiago is going to be crucial. He showed a great defensive performance against Leeds and will be their key player once again. He attempted 7 tackles and won 4 of them. And the important thing here is that 6 of those attempted tackles were in the defensive third, which gives a real insight into the defensive changes by Liverpool. Thiago attempted 6 tackles against Napoli back in September, where they were, very open and got slapped. And 4 of them were in the middle third and 2 were in the attacking third. It shows specifically how Thiago has had his midfield role slightly tweaked in the 4-3-1-2, which means that he and Fabinho basically become a midfield partnership. So, what should Liverpool do? Should they press high again? Before we get into it, pause the video if you're a Liverpool fan and let me know in the comments below if they should go for that or not. I'm intrigued to know how you guys feel about it, because after all the defensive tweaking that Liverpool have been trying to make, is this the type of match where Liverpool should press like they used to? And although Liverpool don't like to admit it, taking some tips from Man United's performance against Spurs, which was the best performance against Spurs this season, it wouldn't be the worst idea, as they were able to have one of their best performances this season, and they really nullified any attacking threat from Spurs. United controlled that match through pressing high and stopping the Spurs defenders passing into the midfield 3. And this proved to be really effective, as they consistently forced Tottenham into misplaced passes or passing back to the keeper. Liverpool fans, you've all got different opinions, especially this season with the changes that have been made. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What is the right approach for Liverpool in this game? Is a game plan where they try to press high against Spurs and try to get Spurs high up the pitch too much of a risk with the space that's left in behind, and thus should they have a bit more of a defensively focused system? Or do they just go balls to the wall, as they say, and really push and press? Let me know. So let's talk about the potential fallout. Get it? Because Because we do Fallout on the Monday. So what is the... Yeah, it's always interesting to look at the potential fallout, and if Tottenham are able to win this match, then they've extended the gap between them and Liverpool to, wait for it, 13 points. With their performances not being too convincing recently, a win would silence a lot of the doubts surrounding Spurs and Conte, something that I spoke about in terms of that style versus substance in my match reaction after they qualified for the knockout stages of the Champions League, because it's obviously a year since Conte started, and it's really about getting points on the board for Conte before the World Cup, and same for Liverpool, of course. And they want to be in that strong position in the league table so that when they do return in late December, there's going to be that positive feeling around the club. Another loss for Liverpool would really start to raise serious concerns in terms of their form in the league anyway. It'll depend on how they play and set up, but after recent changes in formation that haven't been convincing in the Premier League, getting a positive result here is everything. And it could go a long way to restoring their form in the league. So, by any means, Liverpool just need to get themselves a result. That said, I think that the league title has gone for Liverpool. It certainly feels like that at this moment in time. And so maybe, actually, the focus shouldn't be on the result. It should be on progression as Klopp looks to take the team forward. So, predictions time. Get yours in the comments down below. Here's mine. I just think it's obvious. I did a video on Darwin Nunez. He will score a hat-trick. He will score at least 2 in this game, just guaranteed, because I've said that he's not up to it. It's absolutely guaranteed. So with that in mind, that means Liverpool get 2 goals. Tottenham, I wonder if they'll struggle to get out. I think the injuries could really, really hurt them in this game, and I wonder if that negative defensive setup means that they get camped in their own box in this game, and I think it's going to be a Liverpool win. I do. I think it will be, let's go with a 2-0 victory. Darwin Nunez to score both. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know which previews you want for next week's games. And make sure you check out the next preview, which is coming soon.